Bivol, I want to be undisputed champion.
The boxing world has been buzzing about the possibility of a unification fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, two of the top light heavyweight fighters in the world.
Is it Dmitry Bivol next? Is that the man that you want?
It's a good job for me, you know.
However, it appears that making this fight happen will be no easy feat.
I hope soon. I feel it.
Both boxers are undefeated. The potential bout is a classic pairing of boxer versus puncher. The winner will be the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and most importantly of all, the fight is in demand.
Are we ever going to get Bivol and Beterbiev?
WBA champ Bivol was 2022 Fighter of the Year, defeating undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in May and previously unbeaten former WBO champion Artur Ramirez in November.
Bivol is ready to fight for the undisputed.
Artur Beterbiev is the only world champion who has currently won all his fights by knockout.
He's the only world champion that's in boxing today that has a 100% knockout ratio.
The Russian Hammer, fighting under the flag of Canada, defeated Anthony Yarde to score another knockout and retain his WBO, WBC and IBF light heavyweight titles.
Beterbiev, he's a strong fighter. You know, punches hard. I think he can compete with anybody in this division.
Adding to the complexity of the situation, both fighters have different commitments in the short term. Bivol is scheduled to face Lyndon Arthur in his next fight, while Beterbiev will defend his belts against Callum Smith.
Mandatory, that's not really a mandatory, but they're choosing to take it in Yarde. Let's do the undisputed next.
Both fighters want this bout, the boxing fans want it, and now is the time to make this match due to the fact that everything about this bout makes perfect sense.
100%. If we meet each other, we will say, let's make a fight, let's make a fight. I want this fight.
Over the past 6 years, two fighters have emerged as the two best in the light heavyweight division, Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol.
Both guys are in the pound-for-pound list.
Though 2023 will not provide the year that they face each other, we hope that 2024 will be that year.
Beterbiev, he's ready, he wants to become undisputed. What are you waiting for?
The two fighters share a weight class and a reputation for dominance, yet fight with polar opposite approaches to the sport of boxing.
We'll reach out to him and try and make this fight next for everybody, because it's one of the biggest fights in the sport.
The three-belt world champion, Beterbiev, who holds the IBF, WBO, and WBC light heavyweight titles, is a talented boxer, but best known for hitting like a heavyweight.
You can't take anything away from him. I mean, he's a really hard-punching, you know, aggressive, strong.
The Russian has developed a fearsome reputation, and he is unbeaten in a 19-fight professional career. All 19 of those victories have come via stoppage, and his punching power is there for all to see. The 38-year-old is a former world amateur champion and Olympian who turned pro in 2013 and has boxed just 91 rounds since.
Did you know him in the amateurs?
He was one of the best fighters in our team.
This of course means his knockout ratio currently stands at 100%, but he's disappointed many fans and critics by shying away from the big guns of the light heavyweight division until meeting Gvozdyk.
Sometimes he sparred with heavyweights, you know, and beat them too.
Bivol, who has been a long-reigning WBA light heavyweight world champion, is best known for his ability to outbox and outthink his opponents, as he produces some of the lowest connect percentages in the sport of boxing when it comes to his defense.
Dmitry Bivol is the best 175-pounder in the world.
Last May, Bivol pulled off a huge upset to beat Canelo and defend his WBA light heavyweight world title.
I'm the fighter of the year, of course. It shows that I'm on the right way.
Despite Canelo's air of invincibility, the unbeaten Bivol remained composed throughout their contest and boxed his way to a unanimous decision victory. Beterbiev versus Bivol will be a fight between a classic boxer Bivol and a puncher with devastating power and a relentless style of fighting in Beterbiev.
Every punch that he throws is dangerous.
Beterbiev is one of the best light heavyweights ever, and has a case to be made that he could have beaten any light heavyweight on any given day. But now the question becomes, how much does he have left?
You know, he's aging. Nobody beats Father Time.
Beterbiev is in his late 30s. In the Anthony Yarde fight, he looked to be slowing down, and it seems that his prime might be past him.
Most guys by that age are starting to slide.
That said, is Beterbiev that special that even a shell of himself is better than most of his generation?
Beterbiev's a beast, by the way, but he don't beat Dmitry Bivol.
In terms of aesthetics, Bivol is a lot more fun to watch.
I have a good defense, I have a good combination, I have a good boxing skills.
Beauty, science and craft meet as one when looking at the fighting style of Dmitry Bivol. Bivol will need to be even more defensive against Beterbiev than he was in his fight against Ramirez because he hits harder and has an excellent inside game.
Dmitry's explosive, throws a lot of feints. He'd have his opponents up against the ropes.
Bivol has demonstrated his superior skill set against one quality opponent after another the past few years. He's an excellent boxer, maybe good enough to expose whatever limitations Beterbiev might have.
He has to do what he did to win the fight and win it by knockout.
But he lacks power, or at least enough of it to keep the heavy-handed Beterbiev off him.
Jab would be important. Obviously, Bivol's going to use that jab.
Beterbiev has the punching power and the ability to take everything Bivol dishes out, making it a tough fight for him.
I could beat him, why not? And I could lose. It depends on my preparation.
The question is whether he can weather the Beterbiev storm for 12 rounds.
Should not underestimate the jab of Beterbiev. It's very hard. It's like a foam pole.
Bivol can outbox Beterbiev during stretches, but he'll have a difficult time doing that for the full 36 minutes.
Bivol is a special fighter.
What makes Bivol so good defensively is the head movement that he uses, but that won't help him against Beterbiev's body punching.
He's going to have to find a way to get close enough to go to the body of Bivol.
Beterbiev's relentless pressure style of fighting will put Bivol in a spot where he'll need to move continuously, and that's not going to be easy. Fans want to see these two highly skilled light heavyweights face each other, and this would be a great fight.
If you want to be undisputed, strike now. Don't talk about other fights, let's make the fight.
A four-belt unification showdown between the two mighty Russians would be, well, massive.
The only way, Max, that fight happens is if a Middle Eastern country gets involved, like it did for Bivol Zerto, put up a lot of money.
After the previous fights, it was clear that Bivol and Beterbiev were the two best light heavyweights in boxing.
I feel like that would be an amazing fight, and I feel like that's the fight that to make at 175.
Boxing has an opportunity to give fans the fight they want to see between Beterbiev and Bivol.
I mean, I know Dmitry wins, but objectively it's a 50-50 fight.
The bout is truly a 50-50 fight, as Beterbiev's age might make astute pundits lean toward Bivol, but this fight needs to happen soon as it is one of the questions we need answered in this great sport of ours.
I know he wants this fight, and he knows that I wanted this fight.
Beterbiev versus Bivol, for all the marbles, for all four belts at 175 pounds.
I want Bivol.
For light heavyweight supremacy.
I want to be undisputed. This is my goal.
And fight fans the world over will get a great fight. But this is boxing, and things are rarely so simple. But will the fight happen?